Okay, here's the bone demonstration videos that I promised you guys. These are courtesy of Dr. David Porta at Bellarmine University. There's be 4 videos: the normal bone, a bone that's soaked in acid or vinegar, a dried bone, and a dried bone close-up. And I'll walk you through those here in a second. So this is acetic acid here. So it's CH3COOH. So CHHH. COOH. So CH3COOH. And this goes to become CH3 COO minus and an H plus. And then if you have a bone, and so calcium will come out of the bone and be attracted, that positive charge there is attracted to that negative charge because of that. So you can extract calcium out of a bone by soaking the bone in vinegar. And actually many types of acids, but vinegar is really easy to use and inexpensive. So, okay, next slide. Here's the video with normal bone. This bone is being held in a vise, and so you can see it sticking up there. And a hammer is going to come across and hit the bone. You see what happened with normal bone. That's nothing's been done to it. And then we'll see the next videos on vinegar-soaked bone or acid-soaked bone and dried bone. So here's what happens with a normal bone. Okay, so what you see there is the bone breaks, but it breaks at a specific spot where it's being held, where it's being held in the vise, and that's where it breaks off. So the bone goes flying across there. You can see that again. See this little piece down. See a little piece that's falling out of the vise down there. So I'll do it one more time. And one more time. So that's the normal bone. So it breaks at a specific spot because there's plenty of water in there holding the bone together, giving it structural integrity, as well as plenty of calcium, and the fibers, the collagen fibers are all, all those, and the osteons are all held together very nicely. So okay, we're going to go on to the next slide. So here's an acid-soaked bone, and we'll see what happens when the hammer comes across and hits it. Pretty impressive, huh? I think it's pretty cool. Because it comes in and just wiggles. It's very flexible. All of a sudden, all of the a lot of calcium is gone. So you've lost a lot of structural integrity. So you can see how rickets and that kind of stuff can happen, and also with loss of calcium in your bones. If you compare that to osteoporosis, osteoporosis is a loss of calcium from the bone, but it's actually loss of bone. Okay, it's loss of sections of bone have come out. This is really just loss of calcium from the bone, so the fibers and a lot of the other stuff that holds the bone together is still there. The water's still there. It's just that the calcium and the calcium phosphates have been lost. So the bone becomes very flexible. In osteoporosis, you have actually holes in the bone, so it becomes less structurally sound. The structural integrity is compromised in the bone with osteoporosis. So that's why the bone breaks with osteoporosis. So, okay, we're going to go on to the next slide, and this will be dried bone. So here's dried bone, and we'll see what happens when the hammer comes across, hits it. So if you want to pause the video, make a prediction what you think is going to happen. But I think it's kind of fun. This is a fun one to watch. I always love this one. It's like just shatters. It's incredible. It goes into a whole bunch of pieces, and the pieces are raining down. I mean, you see how many pieces this bone shattered into. It's just amazing. So with dried bone, you have lost water, and you can see how critical water is for the integrity of bone. And so the normal bone it was able to absorb that blow from this hammer, and it broke, but it only broke at one specific spot where it's being held down there at the base, but the rest of the bone stayed pretty much intact. Okay, so water is hugely important for for the structural integrity of the bones, and because bones are actually somewhat flexible. Okay, so they can absorb impact, and so if you're playing football or whatever and you get hit, the bone can absorb that, and it doesn't always break. Okay, so we'll go to the next slide to be a close-up view of this. So here's a bone, dried bone, close-up view of the hammer hitting it. So you can see that one, and just see how many pieces this thing shatters into. It's just kind of amazing. And the pieces they're just random shapes and sizes. There's no obvious fibers there. It's just, they're held together. It's, the calcium and the fibers are just coming apart because there's no water to help hold the whole thing together. So there you go. There's the bone videos showing you what happened with hitting normal bone with a hammer, acid washed bone, so it's lost calcium, and then dried bone that's been dried in an oven, and so the water's all been removed from that. So anyway, so those are kind of fun, and we do those in lab. So there's your lab exercise for this week. So anyway, have a good week, and give me a call, text me, or email me if you have any questions. Bye.